So the fundamentalist fuck this week, the representative is Dr. Andrew T. Walker. And guys like this, I do not like for a huge reason. And that is because of the disingenuousness with which they approach everything. Now, I first came to know about who this guy was from a National Review article last year, The Case for a Theocentric Right. And for those who don't know, the National Review was started by William F. Buckley Jr., who was a racist segregationist and who used his new paper publication, the National Review, to publish libertarian-style economic stuff, deregulation and all that kind of stuff, and racist, white supremacist segregation kind of stuff. So it should come as no surprise that Dr. Walker, who is a biblical ethicist of all things, teaches at Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky. And for those who've been paying attention at home, that seminary has been or was or still is run by Albert Mohler, who found himself as the representative of fundamentalist buckwheatery one week. And one of the things that Albert Mohler is famous for is being a slavery apologist. So this kind of all tracks for Andrew T. Walker. Now, I read this article, The Case for the Theocentric Right. And the problem with it is, and this guy has a PhD, and I don't know about the quality of where he went to school, but if I can read through an article and pick out multiple fallacious arguments in the first go, I'm not going to think that the quality of their education is going to be very good, right? So he tries to say in this article that conservatives must believe in God because godless conservatism will lead to rampant progressivism and paganism. I don't know where he's getting that from. He completely discounts the notion that there are people who are progressive who have ever converted to Christianity. Nobody has genuinely converted. And that's the problem. See, the premise that he starts this whole thing off with is biblical inerrancy. And he treats the Bible like it's a history book and a science book. And we all know by now that that is not the case. But I just want to highlight a couple things from this article where he says stupid shit. One of them is, we should call for theocratic conservatism, but do so with humility, which is why the First Amendment's commitment to religious liberty matters as much for conservatism as it does for America more broadly. But then he goes on to say in this article and another one where he's trying to distance himself and the Christian right from Christian nationalism, that any argument against conservative Southern Baptist slaveocracy religion dominating the political discourse and making people live by their rules legally is illegitimate. That there are no legitimate arguments against forcing people to live the way that you want to live. Now, here's the thing, Dr. Walker. If your version of Christianity, which again, slaveholder religion, you might want to do something about that, man. It says that you can't do X, Y, and Z, then don't do X, Y, Z. But that does not mean that Dylan Neighbor Cruz can't do X, Y, Z, or December Rose, or any other man, woman, non-binary, transgender, etc. person can't do it. It's between you and God, and y'all act like it's all a settled matter, and that natural law this and history that. And again, he's presupposing that America was founded on Christian principles, and he says that without godly conservatism, then the United States will not move forward with theocratic conservatism, but will move towards secularism. My guy, it's a secular constitution. Jesus is never mentioned. God is never mentioned. The wall of separation of church and state, it on purpose, because go read a history book